Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing medium knotless braids. I'm going to teach y'all how I part for my medium knotless braids and how you can get clean parts just like me. So first off, I'm going to start by parting ear to ear. This way this is like the baseline for everything. Once you get the ear to ear parting, everything else should honestly be straight. So when I do this, I focus on making this part literally like clean. I make sure the line is straight, I make sure everything's clean until I move on to the next step. After that, I'm focusing on the bottom section of the hair. I like to gel up the edges and the flyaway just to make sure that when I'm dividing this into two, I can see where I'm dividing. Honestly, based on the size of the your client's head, you're gonna divide it into either 2 parts or 3 parts, but no more than that. Since we're doing medium knotless braids, I already know the size. It's just ingrained in my memory. I know the size of my medium knotless braids, and that only required me to part it into 2 parts. After you divide this into 2 parts, we then move on to the front of the head. So first and foremost, I'm going to divide the hair into 2. It's not on camera because I forgot to change the angle, but I'm going to first start by making a middle part straight down the head. And I am using Shine and Jam gel. I use the same gel in every video, and I'm using the Shine and Jam gel just to part these sections. So I have my 2 parts at the bottom and then a straight line down the middle. My next focus is getting the parts for the front of the head. The first thing I do is I like eyeball how the rows are going to be, and it really helps like when I actually start making the lines just to know where the line needs to be. And honestly, you can base it off the size of the other 2 parts. They're pretty equal, so you know how thick you need to make it. I'm using Shine and Jam gel to clean up the parts, and basically I'm parting 5 sections. When I do my medium knotless braids, that means there's 5 sections in the front. And when I say 5 sections, I mean like not counting the area below the ear, but in the area above the ear, there's 5 sections total. When I do my small knotless braids, there's 6 sections, and when I do my large knotless braids, there's 4 sections. And you can choose whether to braid or twist the sections. Her hair was very thick, and I knew like if I were to twist this section, it would just untwist. So I twisted the back too, and then once I got to the thicker section of her head, I started doing the braids so that it would stay. In total, there are 7 sections, 5 sections above the ear and 2 sections below the ear. I'm now going to put this hair away so I can start braiding, and honestly, this keeps everything so neat. I don't have to worry about other hair getting caught into the hair that I'm using right now, and it allows me to clearly see, like, I box, you'll see as I'm doing now. I make boxes and create my boxes for each row before I actually start braiding, and I'm able to see like her whole head and the layout a lot better. If I end up not liking these parts later on, I can always adjust, but at least I have a layout so that honestly, you move a lot. So here I start doing the ladder method in the second row, and basically the edges of the boxes in the row above, I make sure are in the middle of the 2 braids below. This way, the braid falls in between the other 2 braids and makes for a fuller head. Clean parts. this is where I slow down exactly how I section each part, and I'm actually going to show you how I do the base of a knotless braid. So, you know, why not? So right now I'm taking out the braid, and then I'm going to show you guys how I part it. So I'm first gonna get some gel just to slick down that part, just so it's easier to get my sections. And then I use the rat tooth comb and I make my part first of where I think it's gonna be. Then I add gel and I go over that part again. I like my parts to be clean. It's like geometry to me, literally. Like, and making parts, it's like therapeutic, if I'm being honest. So look at me, I'm focused. It takes me literally this long to do every single part. Yeah. This is the perfectionist in me, I swear. So after I do that, I just twist off that section and it's good to go. After I do the twist, I use my clip just to separate the sections, make sure like no hair gets caught in the neighboring section. I add more gel because with coarser hair, with 4C hair, with type 4 hair in general, you're going to need a lot more gel just so that it looks slick and that the braid looks clean. So I add more gel and then I comb it through, like, but be careful when combing clients' hair. I know personally I've had my hair ripped out, which is why I like, you can see like once there's like a tug for real, I'll stop and then I'll see where it loosens up. But add gel and then comb it through thoroughly, because as you're braiding you don't need it to get stuck, because then it's gonna mess with the neatness of your braid. After that, I part this section into 3 parts, and that will be for my 3 braids. I start braiding. I take it under. Honestly, I'm not the best at describing how to actually braid, but I will get a more detailed video just dedicated to braiding, so I can just break that down for you. But I braid twice to secure the base, and then I add hair, and then once I add hair, I braid again, add hair, braid again, add hair. And after I've added 3 pieces, I basically hit like all the legs of the braid, so like all the sections should be even at this point. That's when I switch to an under braid and I just start braiding. I add hair to like I get to the thickness that I want it to. So right now the base is too thin, so I add maybe 1 or 2 more strands, and then once it's thick enough I will just continue braiding and only add hair to keep up with the consistent thickness, not to make it bigger. And then you just continue braiding. Add gel as you go along. If you feel like the hair is coarse and it's not blending well with the braiding hair, add gel, comb it out, continue braiding. After that, I basically finish off the head and do all the parts. I honestly like watching my time-lapse videos. It's like, what is that thing, like how ASMRs are, y'all know the word, but I like watching my time lapses and just look at those parts. Look at the parts. Gorgeous girls love clean parts. But thank you guys so much for watching. Here's the finished product. You're gonna see all the parts. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with all your peoples and your friends.